Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I get into today's video, I just wanted to touch base on something I've been thinking and feeling the last week and a half to 2 weeks. It's been about that long since I put a video out, and the whole time I've been really beating myself up about it. I've been super busy, but also just a little overwhelmed and really just beating myself up over not having as much time or maybe dedicating as much time to making these videos. I see some other people out there that do 2 or 3 videos a week, and I'm totally jealous. This is something that I really want to dive into a little bit more, and over the last week or two, I've just been really putting myself down about it. And then I kind of had a reality check where I told myself to just chill out. That sometimes life does just get too busy for the things that you want to do. I also have 2 jobs as a hairdresser and a photographer. Those things take up a lot of my time as well. So I think the point I'm trying to make is cut yourself some slack. If you need to take a little bit of a break from something, just do it. You can always get back into it later. It's kind of like when you don't work out for a week or something and you're just really hard on yourself. Maybe that's just your body or your brain telling you that you need a break. I mean, this is like day 4 of not washing my hair. My nails, I mean, come on. I'm just a mess right now. But I'm trying to just let that all go and go with the flow. A big part of being mindful for me is to keep myself in check when I get into those places where I'm really putting myself down and being negative. I try and get my headspace right again, force myself to think more positive thoughts, and know that just like everybody else, I'm doing the best that I can. So anyway, if you're like me and you've been giving yourself a hard time, just take a deep breath, maybe go for a long walk, and just give yourself a break. Anyway, moving on to today's video. I am in my 2nd trimester now. I'm about almost 23 weeks. So I wanted to go over a few things that happened during the 2nd trimester. I'm going to touch base on some stuff that's happening with baby and also with mom. So for anyone who doesn't know, the 2nd trimester is from 14 to 27 weeks. And in that time, a lot of really cool stuff happens. So first off, we'll start talking about baby. So here's just a fun few things that happen during your 2nd trimester. From about 16 to 18 weeks, your baby can now start to hear. They say by 27 weeks, your baby can actually recognize your voice, and that you should consider playing music for the baby to help its development. I recently started doing this and was kind of blown away. One of my favorite albums of all time is by Jason Mraz, and I played a few songs one night and this baby went crazy. So I definitely felt like the baby was reacting to the music, and it was the coolest thing ever. By 21 weeks, and this is different for everybody, but you should start feeling some little kicks and jabs. You can also typically find out the gender of your baby around this time. By 23 weeks, the baby's really starting to gain some weight, and they say by the 2nd trimester, the baby should weigh around 2 pounds. Also, between 15 to 22 weeks, your baby will start to grow hair, which is weird to think about, but they will start growing eyebrows and eyelashes. By the 2nd trimester, your baby has a digestive system, and it can actually start tasting some of the food that you eat through the amniotic fluid. Research has shown that this can actually influence your baby's tastes outside of the womb. So this would be a good time to start eating those veggies. The baby has also started swallowing at this point, and its waste system is working, and it actually pees every 40 minutes. Gross. Moving on to mom. Throughout the 2nd trimester, you might start feeling some swelling in your hands and feet. This is very common. Some ways to reduce this is to stay active. When you're not on your feet, try and keep them propped up. Avoid periods of standing for too long or actually sitting too long, aka keep active. And also sleeping on your side can help. You may also experience some bleeding of your gums when you're brushing your teeth. This could be signs of gingivitis. It is fairly common since you have a lot of extra blood flow going on, but it would be a good time to schedule a dentist appointment. Another fairly common thing is leg cramping. You also want to try and stay active to prevent this, have healthy eating habits, and you can also increase your magnesium intake. Throughout your pregnancy, you have a lot of extra blood flow pumping, which can cause some low blood pressure. So if you're experiencing some dizziness, this is also very common. You can try eating small meals throughout the day to keep up your energy and also stay on top of your fluids. Also, it's very common to have round ligament pain, or you might feel some lower abdomen pain. I experienced this for the first time recently. And I'll admit it was a little scary at first, especially with this being my first pregnancy. I didn't really know what was going on, but it only lasted for a few seconds. It went away. But I would say if it lasts more than a minute or so, maybe call your doctor. Another fun one are varicose veins. While your uterus is growing, it applies pressure to the large vein that runs down your legs. You can help avoid varicose veins by keeping your legs propped up. Avoid sleeping on your back. You could try wearing supportive socks that help with blood flow. Avoid sitting with your legs crossed, which is a hard one for me. It's like my natural position. And also try adding some stretches in throughout your day. All right, mom and dad, if you're watching this, you might want to skip this part. Through your second trimester, you may notice some changes in your sex life. Pregnancy and all the changes that come with it can make things a little more difficult. Although some women say that their sex drive goes up while they're pregnant, specifically during the second trimester because of all the extra blood flow. This is totally common and you most likely will not get any complaints. And if you didn't know, sex will not hurt the baby. In fact, an orgasm can actually increase blood flow to the uterus and placenta, which will increase oxygen flow, which can't be a bad thing for the baby, right? Many women have believed that an orgasm actually starts uterine contractions for them. So when they have gotten close to the end and they're ready for the baby to come, they might try to have sex and see if that helps. All right, mom and dad, you can watch now. Weight gain, another fun topic of being pregnant. In the next few months, you might really start to see some weight gain as your appetite increases due to your growing baby. If you started out at like a normal weight, you may see about a 1 pound per week increase, totaling at about 14 pounds by the end of the second trimester. Some things that you want to watch out for are gestational diabetes, and at some point, I think it's around 28 to 30 weeks, I believe, you will most likely take a glucose test, and that will see what your sugar levels are at and if you're at risk for basically pregnancy diabetes. You also want to watch out for signs of preeclampsia. You will see that you have high blood pressure and protein in your urine. And if you don't know what that is, it basically prevents the placenta from receiving enough blood, which can cause your baby to be born prematurely or rather small. So some things that you want to make sure that you do, obviously keep up with your monthly and then bi-weekly and then weekly checkups. You want to also schedule your level 2 ultrasound between 18 to 22 weeks. At that time, they will check pretty much everything. It's the longest ultrasound that you'll have. They'll check all the organs. They'll measure the baby. They check the amniotic fluid, and they can also check the gender at that time. And you should receive a 4D ultrasound photo. Again, ignore my nails, but it'll look something like this. So cute. And correction on that glucose test, it's usually between 24 to 28 weeks. Also, another kind of random tip that I didn't really know about until I just started reading up on pregnancy in general was to lay on your left side as much as possible when you're sleeping at night. Your growing uterus, again, puts pressure on that large vein, which is in charge of the blood flow circulation going from your feet all the way back up to your heart and over again. And obviously you don't want to do anything to interfere with that circulation, so do yourself a favor and just get used to sleeping on your left side. Lastly on this video, on a more fun note of some things that you want to start preparing for: your baby shower and your registry. And lastly, something you want to consider, something I didn't think about, it's actually a really cool idea. They call it a baby moon. It's basically just a little mini vacation for you and your partner to get away, relax and enjoy each other a little bit, when it's probably going to be one of the last times that it's just the two of you. And if you're a real badass and you're doing this by yourself, then have a girls' weekend or get away with your mom for a few days or your best friend or your sisters. Just try and find some time for you. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap that up right there. Thank you again so much for watching this video. If you would please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to have a mindful day. Bye.